Hello there folks, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. This is one of my favourite games. I've clocked, I'm not kidding you, 900 hours on this game. Still close to get that cheeky 1k. And what we're going to be doing is going to be going through the career. We're going to be doing hardcore career mode. And I do have some mods installed on this game, but they're not game-changing mods. They're just like things to help me see the Delta V for the ships, docking alignment indicator, a few visual ones, and Kerbal alarm clock, and the ones, ones that just help gameplay more so than actually change it. So, let's start a new game. It's going to be career mode. It's going to be hardcore career, because we're hardcore. Flag. Ooh. Choices. Let's go for... I like the retro one. The retro one's cool. And difficulty options... hard. Yes, I think that is everything. Yeah, that seems quite exciting. Advanced? What's an advanced? Kerbals level up immediately? Can that... oh, no, it's... okay. Hard is required, yeah. There we are. Start. Let's do this. So I think part of the trick for getting through hardcore mode is with certain missions, just like trying to get as many missions onto one as possible. Okay, right. Let's let's get these first two in first. So, so first, starting off, if you haven't played Kerbal Space Program before, what it's about building your own spacecraft and putting these strange little green frogmen into these spacecraft, and then having these spacecraft explode. So, with first things first, we have our... this is pretty much the equivalent of, Cape Kennedy, Kennedy Space Center even. So we have our vehicle assembly building, where we build the craft. We have a mission control, where we accept missions, and apparently other things go on. Space plane hangar, where we build planes and that sort of thing, and space planes, as the name... suggests. An astronaut complex where we buy our astronauts from and sort of see how they're doing. The admin building where it tweaks certain things and it gives you either more money, reputation, or science. R&D, pretty straightforward, so unlocked new parts and lets us get through to the later game to get further out into the atmosphere and into the solar system, Kerboler system? I don't know how you say it. And our tracking station here. So, to give you an idea of the system that we're working with, we click on the tracking station. Hello there. And this is us. This is Kerbin. So the analog of Earth that they're using. And we zoom out a bit. And that is our moon, the aptly named Mun. And then a bit further out we have Minmus, which is like a smaller moon. So that's the Kerbin system there. We zoom out a bit further and we see that Kerbin is itself orbiting around Kerbol, or the sun. So we have our other planets. We have Eve, we have Moho, we have Duna, Dres, Jool, and Elu. So, Moho is pretty much the analogue of Mercury. Eve, the analogue of Venus. Earth, being Kerbin, of course. Duna, being Mars. Dres, I suppose, being an analogue for the asteroid belt. I think I've heard it said that there are loads of asteroids around Dres, but I've yet to be that far, get that far out myself. Then Jool is its analogue for Jupiter, and the Jool system has loads of moons, which we will get to in a further episode. And Elu, which is the analogue for Pluto. So, of course, we're missing Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn. But that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I think this is plenty to have to deal with in the time that we have. So, that's the system we're working with. And I've just accepted our first missions. So these are available missions here. And active missions are the ones that I've selected. So I can currently have 2. And I've selected 2. So the first one is to recover or transmit any data from Kerbin, and that gives us monies. So the idea is with the hardcore mode, it's to spend as little money as possible and to get as much money as possible for the investment that we're making. So if we can try and get these two done at the same time. So when you're doing this, it's always good to keep in mind combinations of missions. So for example, you know, if you had one mission which is go to Mars and go to the moon, you could do that, but it could be quite difficult. So it's just keeping in mind the combinations of missions you choose to put together. Oh, you got little Kerbins down there. Kerbals even. Kerbin's a planet. If there were loads of planets down there, I think we'd be in deep trouble. Right, so this is a command pod. This is where we have our little Kerbins enter, and here we have our crew. Jebediah Kerman is the quintessential Kerbal. He is a god amongst Kerbals. He is our pilot. We have Jebediah, our pilot, as well as Valentina, our pilot. Valentina was added in a patch, I think, half a year ago, I forget. Some time ago. And we have Bill and Bob, our engineer and our scientist. Of course, we can get more engineers, scientists, and pilots, either through buying them or through missions. So, Jebediah is going to be sat in the little command pod. We want him to come back down in one piece, so we're going to put a parachute on his craft. Now, we could put an engine straight onto that, and I think we may actually have to. I don't think we have much available at the moment. Got some goo. Mystery goo, this gives us extra science. This helps with calculating delta V. Delta V, for those who are unfamiliar with rocket science, is a term used to describe how how much speed is in a rocket. So say, for example, you're in the middle of space, travelling at 0 speed, you're still in space. If you have a delta V of 5 meters per second, that means you could change your craft speed from 0 meters per second velocity to 5 meters per second velocity. And that would mean that you could either go 2.5 meters per second in one direction, and then go backward and sort of, you know, stop yourself, as it were. But you'll see how it works as we're going through the game. So we have these little fins on, so just keep us going in the right direction. We're not going to be going out into space, so we don't need any monopropellant. Monopropellant is the stuff that they use in the extravehicular activity suits. So I think I might, yeah, you know what, I might just put some more science stuff on it. Just stick a couple of, I say a couple. There we go. I think that should be enough to have us land, but just in case I'll put it on the top bit, because the top bit's usually a bit more durable. If the bottom bit explodes, it's fine, because it's just a solid fuel booster, and those are quite cheap. Right. Ooh. You know what, I almost did this. So, what this is over here is our, I forget what the term is, but what it is basically is the order in which things are launched in when you get onto the launch pad. So if I had that in there, I would have launched the rocket and the parachute at the same time. Now you can imagine what happens if you're firing a rocket and there's a parachute causing drag behind the rocket. It's going to cause the whole thing to go into some sort of, you know, pendulum motion and mostly end up with the rocket crashing back into the ground. So, we're fine. We're going to give it a quick name. We're going to call it, I don't know, Grasshopper, because it seems like a little one. Grasshopper 1. I'm going to save that. And we've got Jebediah inside. He's our little crew inside this command module there. And let's launch this thing. Okay, so with solid rocket fuel boosters, they don't have thrust gauges. So no matter if I put the throttle on 100 or 0, it won't make any difference, because it's like lighting a firework. That's basically what it is. It's a glorified firework on the bottom of a command module where poor Jebediah is sitting in. So let's put this aside for now. So all these numbers here are not usually in vanilla. I've put them in for myself, just to help with the later game. But I'll put it back on when it's needed and talk you through it. So we have our display here. So we're currently on stage 1 at the moment, which is showing that if I hit space or whatever tool it is you use to do it, it will activate stage 1. So I'll leave that for now. We're in staging mode, which is good. Docking mode and toggle map is for later in the game. Yes, SAS. So RCS is reaction control system, and SAS is stability assist system. So what it is, it's supposedly like flywheels and gyroscopes on the inside of the craft that stop it wobbling about so much and give it a bit more stability. Stability assist. RCS is when reaction control. So reaction would be more so like using thrusters, more so than internal gyroscopes and flywheels. But either way, let's give this little fella a launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift off. Oh my lord, okay. Oh wow. Okay, so he's really flying there. Okay, I'm gonna give it some observe mystery goo right there. Yeah, get some science. So what I'm doing is I'm right clicking on each part here at the moment, and we'll just have a look here. Oh, I've got things. I've got achievements. Oh wait, there we are. So I've got world first milestone. I'm getting money from this. Excellent. So yes, that's good. Launch first vessel. Good. Contract completed. Yes. Okay. So I'm very, very high up in the air, and well, I'm still traveling at. Oh wait. Okay, this symbol here is retrograde, which means that I'm pointing in the direction that I'm not travelling in, or opposite direction to which I'm moving in. So it means I'm falling back, as you can probably tell from perspective. Yeah, so if I don't do anything at this point, what I'm going to do is crash into the ground, and poor Jebediah will be nothing but a bit of mush. Okay, oh, so now I'm pointing prograde, because the ship has fallen back towards its direction of falling because of these little fins here, and yeah, I'm picking up some speed, so I think it might be time to pull up the parachute. And it's gone through the rocket, which is interesting, but you know what to do. Okay, hopefully it opens up. That could be... Oh, thank goodness for that. Please don't let me crash into the ground, crash into the ground, crash into the ground. And I don't think we're going to crash into the ground, which is always nice. Yeah, it's a nice sunny day here on Kerbin, and Jebediah has just had his first launch. So, I think that was a success. Got some science, launched a ship. Saw a bit around Kerbin, nice and temperate climate here on Kerbin. And here we are, about to touch down on the ground again. Okie dokie. Right, and please don't crash. Oh, everything in one piece, that's what we want. So, ideally, what we want each time is to launch a craft, and to save on funds, the best thing would be to have it land safely at the Kerbal Space Station. What's it called? Oh, I forget what it's called, but yeah. Each time that it goes out and comes back. Just going to get some more science. Cool. Okay. I think it's time to recover our vessel. Because we're quite close, we should get the cost of the entire vehicle back, save for the fuel that we've spent. So, let's do that. Okie dokie, right, so we've got science. We've got parts. Yes. Cool, so it shows us here the breakdown for all the funds that we're getting back. So, from the command pod, we got 576. I'll just check it against the price of the actual thing, 576, to see whether we have actually lost any money from that. Oh, I see. So, yeah, there we go. It says 98% of the value. So that's good. That means if we get it back each time, we just lose a minimal amount of money. Jebediah Kerman, yep. Ready for the next assignment. Yes, you are, Jebediah. You love space. Okay, we have 18 science. So, let's see what missions we can do next. Oh, wow. There's a lot of missions we've got here at the moment. So, right, these observational ones usually involve flying over the site, and it's quite time consuming. So we'll see what happens there. Orbit Kerbin, I don't think we're quite at the stage of orbiting Kerbin. Maybe a little bit, not too far from where we are at the moment. Escape the atmosphere, that's doable, perhaps, yeah. Let's have a look here. Distance, oh, it's going to be travelling at quite a speed. I'm not sure that's doable quite yet. Flying, flee. You know what, I think for now, let's escape the atmosphere. We'll escape the atmosphere and we'll come back down with the parachute. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we have our 2 missions. So, firstly, it's just to escape the atmosphere. And secondly, it's to be, when we're coming down between 2,000 and 9,000 meters at this speed, we launch the parachute. I say launch the parachute, we activate the parachute and hopefully land in one piece. Okay, so let's just see if we can spend our science. And, oh, hello. Let's have a look. Basic rocketry. Ooh, cheap as chips. What do we have available? We have that available. I think, why not both? Why not both, indeed? Yeah, we don't have enough to go on quite yet, so we might as well invest both ways. So what this opens up, it opens up our liquid fuel engines, which we can actually change the thrust on. So rather than just launching it and it launches like a firework, like the smaller one of this, or is it? This one here. We can actually control how much thrust is coming out of it. Now, in the real world, you can only do a certain number of... You can only turn these on a certain number of times with certain designs of engine. But the game, just to sort of simplify it and make it a bit more accessible, you can turn it on and off an infinite number of times. I don't think I know a mod yet where it limits the stock parts to a certain number of turn-ons and offs. But maybe it's out there, maybe I don't know. And in here we have a new bit of science. We have a thermometer, of course, that advanced piece of science. So these little descriptions here make me chuckle so much. They have descriptions like these for every single item, and they're usually really fun. So this thermometer is definitely not a store-bought model with some wires stuck to it. Warranty void if an engineer admits it's actually a store-bought model with some wires stuck to it. They've got such a good sense of humour. I would love to go through all of these. But, yes, some of them are really funny. Some of them are just, sort of standard descriptions. Oh, I see. So because it's hardcore mode, I've got to research the parts and then purchase them to use them. So that's fun. That's alright. I got myself signed up for this, so it's my own fault. Okay. So, we want to be going into space. So let's have a look here. So this is, that's my Mark 16 parachute, so we've got that part sorted already. There's some fuel tanks. Yes. I need to get a few more fuel tanks than that. Wonderful. You see, I put this on here, and it shows us what delta V we have. So the delta V, as we were just saying before, was a description of how much change in speed it can give us. So in Kerbin's atmosphere, because that's what we've got to set it to, it can take us from moving still to moving at that speed. Now, of course, if we're going straight up, we have to take into account gravitational pull. So we'd end up, after having spent all this fuel, be moving at a speed considerably lower than that, because gravity would be pulling on us continuously the entire time we were trying to move upward. But either way, that's a job for calculus and not for me. Yes, so let's stick another rocket on the bottom, and I think we should be sure that we're going to be going up rather than sideways or down. And just put some more on there. I think that's nice and shiny. Okay, I'm not sure whether this parachute will be able to get this whole thing down, but at the very least, it'll get us to slow down. If we've got any any extra fuel, I'll just do a quick burn as we're heading down. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Or I could just put this on, this stack decoupler, which I've put on here, which means that at this stage, so after this is run out, I activate this, and this bit shoots off and reveals this engine here. So what I'm going to do is move that over here so that when the stack decoupler deactivates, this engine turns on as well. Actually, I'm going to do it NASA style, so each stage separately. Okay, so this is Grasshopper. Actually, no, it's not Grasshopper anymore. This is going to be Reach 1, because we're reaching up to the atmosphere and out of it. So, if we're reaching about the atmosphere, then let's get some science on this ship as well. So we're going to get a little thermometer. Let's get four thermometers, because I don't understand the word overkill. And a couple of mystery goo, because we've already used a bit of mystery goo, and we'll be going through upper atmosphere and space. So, goo, yes. Alright. I think we're ready. Right, let's do this. Get the monoprop out. Yeah, that was the one we used before. Cool, let's launch. Okay, right, we're going to get throttle at full, ready for when we're going to be launching. We've actually got a little launch bunker. Alright, let's... Oh, can I actually get inside there? Can I get a view from inside here? No? Ah, that'll do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift off! Oh, beautiful. Like Universal Studios, eat your heart out. Okay, so oh, that's moving us quite quickly. I'm going to open up this flight engineer here just to see how we're doing. So it's a lot of numbers, don't be frightened. So this is showing us our delta V for the stage we're currently at. Yeah, so we've currently passed the stage where sort of we'd be losing fuel on air resistance. So I'm just going to drop that lower stage, and let's launch our rocket and keep going upwards. So our apoapse is the top of the parabola that we're going to be travelling in. Actually, let's just keep going up because we want to land as close to the Kerbal Space Center as possible. And once it passes 70, 70 is the mark for space in this game. So we're at 23 at the moment, so we've got a while to go, but let's log some temperatures, log some data. Are we yet in yeah, we're upper atmosphere now, so that's alright. Upper atmosphere, yada yada yada, cool. I'm going to save the crew report. Actually, no, let's do the crew report now. Upper atmosphere. I'm not going to take Jebediah out, because if he falls off, then it's going to be a hassle getting him back to the ship before they start being affected differently by air resistance and make it even more difficult to get to each other. Okay, so apoapse is just above the space limit, which means that we'll just push into space. Just. And then hopefully come back down, and I won't crash into the ground. Let's just give us a little bit of a push this direction, so that we don't fall too far from the Kerbal Space Center. Yeah, okay, just da 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 da. Okay, and we can see space, the final frontier. Yeah, we've got Kerbal up there. Kerbol, that is, like Sol, but Kerbol, not Kerbal, as in these fellas. Kerbals. Kerbin down there. Oh, space music has turned on. And this is the first time that you hear the space music in this game. Yeah, it's really, really lovely. The first time you ever get to space, if you haven't played it before. And the magic of just being like, oh my lord, I'm in space! Space! you know, sort of turn into Space Sphere from Portal 2. Space. Space. Gotta go to space. I love space. Oh, fiddle, I've got to get science. Oh, I've forgotten entirely about that. Shit. Ah, balls. Log temperature. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Cool. Okay. Oh, someone stop my rambling. Okay, so we're falling back towards Kerbin now. And I've just got to make sure that... Oh, we're going to be landing in the sea, aren't we? Right, so let's push ourselves a little bit further north. Cool. How much? We've got 214, so I can reduce our speed by 214 as we're coming back down. Not that much, to be honest. Actually, let's get into surface mode. Yeah, we've got two modes here. Surface mode and orbit mode. So, surface mode, of course, takes into account the motion of the planet, because the planet's rotating as well. Whereas orbit is... Well, it's just your orbital speed. Actually, no, wait. Is it one way or the other? Yeah, orbits and... Surface is relative to the surface, and orbit is relative to... Yes, your orbit, just to the core of the planet. Okay, I think we've got the right vector going on there. We're going to land near enough to the center. See it just there? Yeah. So that little peninsula there is us. So we've got... This is... It's called Cafrica, because it resembles Africa. But, alright, we've got another bit of a mission to do, don't we? Yeah, so it's been... Oh, balls. Okay, I don't think we're going to be... I need to slow us down. Yeah, okay, so that's that was that done. I don't think we'd be travelling... Well, as we pass... We're going to need 300 meters per second at 2,000. Oh, Lord. Okay, slow us down, slow us down, slow us down. Come on, come on, come on, come on. 300, 300, 300. Yes, come on, 300, 300, 300. Yes, okay, cool. And I'll turn that off. And we should be slowing down enough so that we don't crash into the ground. Don't crash into the ground. Please open up before we crash into the ground. Oh! Oh, thank God for that. Oh my God. Oh my God, I think I wet myself a little bit. Okay, I'll accept that. You know what? Yeah, fine. Fine. We lost the engine, but... Lesson learned. We still brought back 3 fuel canisters, so it's better than nothing. I think I'll be more wary next time, because if that went wrong, I would have lost Jeb. And we don't want to lose Jeb. So... Let's have a look. All the mission things that we have... come on. Let me see this. Escape the atmosphere. Yes. Money, 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 money. Scientific data. Scientific data. Yes. More accomplishment. Return to the surface. First crew from a mission. Yes. Reached space. Okay. Let's recover vessel. Okay, we have lots of science. We have brought back a fair bit of cash as well. Okay, 98% value brought back. And we have brought back Jebediah, most importantly. Right, I think for now, we're going to leave it there for this week. And next time we're continuing with our hardcore Kerbal Space Program career mode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.